yeah, look at that. You can hear my voice, right? Does it sound good? Do I have a nice voice? What do you guys think? All right. Okay, I want to talk through this. Let me hit play. So this is the patch I did yesterday. I just want to kind of speak to it a little bit. Can you guys still hear me over the music, or do I need to turn it down? Level's good. So the main voice here is here. I'll actually pick up the camera. It's crazy, but Piston Honda MK3. Basically, I'm taking all three outs of it. I'm running it as two separate oscillators. It's going into the 2 LPG here on the left, which is having the envelopes controlled by the black sequencer itself. And then I have the 3 outs, the mix, the first oscillator, the second oscillator, all going into the 3 sisters, into the low, high, and mid. And then I'm running the high, mid, and center out into different places. And so right now, what you're hearing, you'll notice the Queen of Pentacles. Whoa. The Queen of Pentacles is running right now, but you can't hear it because everything's muted on it. That's what I use for all my drums. It's really good that it has switches per drum voice, so I don't have to mess with it on the mixer if I don't want to. And I switched over recently to using the Cosmics as my mixer, which is kind of fun. It's much smaller footprint than the Hex Mix and Hex Expander, and it has a lot of controls and fun, and 8 channels, 2 stereo and 4 mono, so 6 channels that way, or you can do left and right split mono. You can do 8 if you want to. And then I have the Interchain here. I have Endorphins Golden Master, the Shackmat High Pass, a silver paneled module in CK's case. And right now I'm just using the OHP or HPO with a black panel replacement panel on it for my out, which is really ghetto. But I'm about to replace that with another silver panel module, which is going to be the Duranalog output. I forget what the name of it is. Also mixed in the chain performer, so everything is. Sorry, it's gonna put it down like that. Okay, so right here I have the performer, so the whole chain can be looped and then tape stopped whenever I want to, which is fun. So that's the basis of this patch, and everything's being the Ericasense black sequencer, and then all the gates for the Queen of Pentacles are coming off of the drum sequencer. Now, one other thing I didn't note earlier, which I'm going to point out now, is I currently have the per call right there being triggered by the drum sequencer, and you can't hear it right now because I have it. It's the 3rd track on the Cosmic, so I'm about to turn it up to show you what that's doing, because it sounds friggin' bananas. The 3rd track or the 4th track? That's the 4th track. Sorry. So that adds quite a bit more rhythm, as you can hear, to the whole patch when I do that. And just again, if you want to see how this is running, I just have the one all out from the 3 sisters going into the one top end of the per call, and then I have 2 different triggers coming from the black sequencer to kind of add the rhythm and really make it crazy. And I have the second one here. The second envelope is choking, or the first one's choking the second. I forget how it works, but anyway. And then I just have the all out of that going in here. So that's how I'm creating this kind of bass groove, right? Now, since I'm using the Piston Honda MK3, what's cool about that is I can change up the wave shapes whenever I want to. Like, these are just presets, so if I switch from this, I can go. Oh yeah, that's a different sound. But it's still the same melody and everything. There's another one too. This one I don't love as much. This one's like way more rhythm. For that, right? Yeah, there's a 4-on-4. Sounds good. Now let's add some. Yeah, there we go. Woo! So as you can see, I'm not muting the drums at all. My drums are maxed out on the Cosmics. I don't mute my drums typically except via the for some reason. But I have them maxed out because they kind of naturally sidechain if I have them louder than everything else. The interesting thing about the Cosmics as a mixer, notice the white lines there. That's the like where you should be for everything, and that's why I was telling somebody on one of the forums to avoid this if you like to slam faders up and down. I was telling Travarsi the reason she doesn't like this is because she likes to slam her faders up and down, but that middle line is kind of where you should be at levels, and then you crank things up so they can stick out, or crank things down if you don't want them to be heard. And this isn't even with the drive turned on this. When I turn the drive on, it starts sounding bananas. Hold a moment, I'll put the camera down and show you that. So, one thing people don't get about the Cosmics is that it has two drives. It has a low drive and a high drive. So you can just drive the high. That's just up to the line. If you go above the line on this, it sounds really bad. Too much. Be very gentle with the use of this control. Now if I do the low one, just the low, oh, it gets thick. So over here, I have the this going out into this 5000, which is also coming back into my this 7 and 8. So if I just tune it up a little bit, it starts doing the wet of the sound. Anyway, so so this grungy too. If I drive it up, it sounds horrible. Oh, maybe it sounds amazing. I don't know. It's kind of super distorted though. Anyway, I'm not gonna do that. So that's all bananas and fun. And let me switch on the piston Honda to something else. Okay, this is back to the set of voices that I used for this is the set of voices that I used in my patch last night for those of you who are watching it. And if we look at, so the other fun thing here I forgot to mention is I have an LFO coming from the drum sequencer actually. It has two LFOs on it, this is like a really good drum sequencer. You can also, you have one CV thing out, but it has two LFOs, it has all these triggers, it's crazy. And now that I got the black keys, it looks really good. And I dazzled with my banana nuts. I gotta do that. Anyway, you look at, so I've got an LFO modulating Three Sisters going into the span. So I have the span. Notice all the knobs on the Three Sisters are at high noon. The span is being modulated by the LFO right now. And it's also in crossover mode. So I can flip the formant and make it sound a little bit different and cool too. Let me do that. And see, now that I switched to formant, it's got like a little bit more vocal stuff going on. And then if I add back in a little bit of reverb to that, that sounds pretty sweet. Now, because of the way I patch it on the Three Sisters, where I have the ends going into the low, center, and mid, and the outs going out through the high, mid, high, center, and all. Because of that, the Three Sisters knob kind of work as a mix. So if I go, but right now on this piston Honda voice, I only have one of the voices audible because the other one's a synth wave that's really deep. you don't hear it. But if I go here, now doing that deselected the top oscillator, which is what's doing the low groove you hear right now. Now that means I can change these sliders on the Piston Honda MK3 and actually manipulate the sound so it sounds different for the second oscillator. You'll actually be able to hear it, but let me turn it up. It was the third channel on the Cosmic, so I didn't really have it first. But hopefully this is not too hand-wavy for all of you. So now I'm just going to hold the mic. I'm not going to be able to talk while I do this, but I'm going to adjust the wave shape of the second oscillator on the Piston Honda MK3, so check that out. That I have changed that sound so that it's audible and contrasted to the first sound. When I turn the Three Sisters, because of the way I have it patched, when I turn the Three Sisters frequency knob up, it mixes over to just that sound versus the deep bass sound. So now for the rest of the patch, without mixing in the mixer, I can actually mix in Three Sisters. And that's fun. Yeah. Oh, I left the Foreman on. Let me try that again without the Foreman on. Now all this has been with the quality just straight up north. I can also get the Three Sisters to start self-oscillating a bit, and then it sounds a little bit more bananas. Now that sounds nuts, and I don't even have the overdrive turned up yet. What's great about the tape stop effect is that you can pause it. And while it's paused, you can totally change the sound. And change it up, which is a good, cool, quick transition if you ever want to do it. So anyway, also I have every track of the the Queen of Pinnacles. I gotta redo the wires here because I redid my case for this setup. Whoever suggested to put drum samples below the Queen of Pinnacles, I forget who it was. It was on one of the forums. You're a genius. Thank you so much. Once I did that, was it you, Woke? Somebody did it. And when I did that, I was like, oh, this works so well. But I need a lot of short cables. I had someone order to just go between here. But in any case, everything's already patched in the Queen of Pinnacles. Quickly add in the, that. And then I can add this every once in a while for accents, just by flipping the mute switch, which I did last night on the pad. You can add this like grungy stuff. The great thing about the Queen of Pinnacles, for those of you who aren't familiar with it, honking knob in the middle of it. That is a high pass to the left, low pass to the right. No, wait. Low pass to the left, high pass to the right filter. And right now, so I've got it going a little bit low pass. In the center, it's nothing. So I use this all the time in performances to do nice accentuated change. Drop the drums down into like a low. And add something in that's higher. Can't really, and then I can take out that other deep rhythm I had, like muting it. Come back down, it goes, yeah. If I did that while I was sliding up this and picking it up, it would sound really good, but I didn't. Come on. the other good thing about this setup that I want to touch on is the Golden Master, which I finally kind of figured out. So, Golden Master, little 6 HP Endorphins module here that offers compressor, EQ, etc. on all these different things. I barely scratched the surface because I don't multi-mode it. I pretty much just use it as an EQ right now on the Master. And by the way, that button is not actually glowing blue. It's just picking up blue from the glow on the Cosmics. But hold on a second, let's distract. Let's take the first out. The other good thing is on the Piston MK3 you can save your patches. All the changes I made, I can just turn through the preset, off and then back on, and then I'll be back to where I started. So now I'm back to the original sound. And I also do that on, I moved the camera too much over here. So on the Sense Black Sequencer, which I'm about to talk about, like you can reload your sequence, you can fiddle with your sequence and then reload it very quickly, which is great. You saved it. So anyway, back to Golden Master first. The important thing to note about the Golden Master is it has a volume and a gain input knob. So in the early firmware they had a lot of noise issues. Newer firmware fixed the noise issues, but you have to watch these levels because if these levels go too high, there is and go to nothing, which I know that's a little bit more boring, but as you'll see, I'm just doing this so you can see these little knobs. But notice I don't even have them at high noon because it's too high. They're very hot, those, and that's what I was using the other day when I think Schmooster commented like, "What did you just adjust?" Because I grabbed this little flathead screwdriver and stuck it into that little knob to turn it precisely because the gain was up too much and I was getting some clipping. Because I'm still fine-tuning the setup a little bit since I'm getting used to not having the hex mix and expander. But in any case, so as long as you have the Golden Master set up right, what's good about it is you can quickly any of the lows, mids, or highs. So you can do this. Yeah, now that's kind of DJ sounding, right? Then it comes back in. You do that with the mids too, and then it sounds really good too. You can do it with the highs too, or you can do it with the highs and the mids and just get to a deep sounding. Oh yeah, what's that? And then unmute them together. And if you like to, think you can turn the knob fast enough, you can just do that by hand without. So, I forgot I left the accents on. So, the other thing you'll notice is so I mentioned the gap up here as I'm getting that new Duranalog output that's coming hopefully today. That'll slot right in there and will give me two high audio outs, mic outs, which are shielded and everything. And then there's another 6 HP gap right here between the black sequencer and the drum sequencer. And this is where a Two of Cups from Endorphins that I ordered is supposed to arrive today too, hopefully. And that'll give me two samples to play alongside all this. Whoa! And I'm honestly planning on using one of the samples. If I can do it, I gotta test this in Two of Cups. I've done it with every other sampler I own. But what I'm planning on doing with that is actually just taking this down a little bit so I can think. That's better. What I'm planning on doing with that is taking one of the two, since they have volt per octave control on them, and using it as an oscillator and playing that into the patch too. Because as you notice, like with the Piston MK3, and the Three Sisters, I really only have one voice. Well, I have two oscillators that are going into two different parts of that one filter. I'm probably going to take the per call out, even though it sounds really badass right now, the way I have it patched, and put it into my main unit up top. And then what I'm going to do, I've got a Morphader, which is supposed to be coming today, that I'm going to try there and see how I like it. But I'll probably take it out and actually put in the Crow and some other utilities and just give me some more flexibility in terms of patching. And that brings me to my whole point of this case re-rack that I've been doing, getting rid of the hex mix and everything, which I don't think I mentioned at the beginning of this. But I'm trying to make this whole EP208 case my away mission case, so that if I need to go travel someplace via an airplane and it's not a big paid gig. By the way, I've never had a big paid gig. I'm just saying, like, you know, if it's a big paid gig, I'm gonna fly the whole monster out there. I'm gonna take my whole baby, my mothership, the whole thing. But if the mothership is too much, I'm just gonna take an away mission module that's gonna detach. But I want it to be functional with the whole and separate. So that's what I've been stressing about for the past 2 weeks while I've been re-racking everything over and over and over again. For a while, I was trying to, where is it? I can't point the right direction while I'm looking at the camera. The Brinzo, which is my favorite oscillator, analog oscillator by far, I was trying to cram its 30 HP in here. But then I realized one of my two piston Honda MK3s in there gives me a lot more flexibility. So anyway, also there's a mannequins in here, looper that's not patched right now at all in this patch, but that's an extra set of effects and cool stuff I can do. So let's talk. I'm almost done. I know this is, you guys are probably bored to death and you're like, why is CK doing this? We like to hear him perform, not do this. But anyway, I wanted to talk through it for posterity. I'm recording this too. I'll post it on my YouTube later. So the really cool thing about the black sequencer, which I don't think everybody realizes, and I highlighted this. I was talking to Travarsi yesterday, and she's like, wait, that has envelopes out? And I was like, yeah, it has envelopes out. So let me get the camera for a minute, and I'll show you some things. So first I'm going to show you the magic button, because the magic button is magical. Let's see if I can actually reposition the camera so I can do this without having to be crazy. Give me just a moment. I wish I could show you guys how stupid my camera setup is, because it's just a GoPro on this little wraparound tripod that I'm bending into weird shapes to make it work here. Anyway, I need to figure out the cable madness that's going on right here, because it's annoying when I perform. I'm planning on getting some better length cables for everything. Let me move my mic over too, so I can actually talk to you guys while I do this. So it looks like you can see the screen now. It's a little fuzzy, but the magic of this is I have channel 1 here. Oh, let's change this sound again so we can hear both things. So I'm selecting, like I did earlier, the first oscillator. Okay, so now you can hear both parts of the patch. And I started to self-oscillate a little bit, get it to ping, the filter to ping a little bit, just so you can kind of hear both of them really well. So, this magic button, you can set parameters for it. Right now I'm using a minor blues scale for all this. Everything's quantized, which is set in here as well. If you shift to quantize, it shows you where you are. Yeah, minor blues, root C. And I have that on both tracks, 1 and 2 that are playing right now. And then if I go to this direction, mod, here's where my envelope is. So on track 1, which is the deeper bass, I can attenuate it down. And the knobs on this are super clicky, so you can click with each, whatever beat you want to, you can time to that to turn a wave up or down. And you can also live change the shape of the wave and make it really. And I use this tons in my patches to do this sort of craziness. And then if you get too far off from where you are, magic button, you go to your CV and just click magic and CV, and it automatically changes all the notes. So you have a totally different groove. But hey, I want to go back to that sound that I started the patch with. Just click pattern. Yeah, there it went back. And you can change either one of them. You can go to channel 2 and do magic CV again. That changes too. I don't know if you can do it a couple times. I don't know if it's really handy. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention on Queen of Pentacles, your switch mutes you or sends you through the effect. So that switch to the other side sounds like this, which is just a different accent. Tons of flexibility. Also, the Queen of Pentacles has an audio in, and you can run your entire chain through it if you want to and use that big filter to sweep everything, which is fun. Anyway, so the magic button is great. The magic button works on every parameter on here too. You can magic your gates, you can magic your ratchets. So I can magic. Is that going to change anything? Oh, that only affects. I'm not using the gate out, so it doesn't do anything on this patch. Also, the mod. The cool thing about the mod out here, in addition to being ADSR, set up in mod, and you can switch through just an ASR envelope, a decay envelope, CB notes, so you can run another CB, or stepped LFO. Oh, they're all the same. So once I magic this, it still didn't change it that much. I think I just got too much going on this patch for it to really be honest. I should reset this whole thing. Get rid of that really annoying noise. Anyway, the other thing I like to do a lot when I'm playing is go to CV and then unmute notes, change notes quickly. Since you're in a key, whatever note you turn it to is still in the see, I made that really high. Beep. Beep. So, yeah, any questions? Anything else I should go over? Or do you guys just want me to stop talking and set up the camera and play something? Or would you like me to end? What do you guys want? Nobody's commenting. All right, I'll jam us out. yeah, I forgot. You can also use the green color on the performer to do what I just did. Go to a high pass filter. Thanks, everybody. Have a great weekend. That didn't sound like my normal thanks. What I meant to say was, thank you very much.